because healing is not easy. So we're going to start with a little bit of a grounding intention. And I invite you to chant this intention with me, marshaling these resources. The words to the songs and chants we'll be singing are in the link that I have just pasted in the chat, and they should also be in the live chat on our YouTube channel as well. So if you click on that link, you'll find a document with these lyrics. And so I invite you to sing along as we invoke these eternal values and internal resources of ahava, love, which can be a very fierce thing. It's not this sweet, simple love of feeling good about people, but the intensity of commitment to something. Rachamim, compassion, merciless compassion that sees the reality of a situation and yet holds it in that love. Chesed, loving kindness, and shalom, peace. Not the peace that is the absence of conflict, but the peace that is the possibility of holding discordance within a larger whole. So I invite you to spend a few moments just taking deep breaths with me and invoking those capacities within ourselves. Ahava, Rachamim, Chesed, V'Shalom. 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 Ahava, Rachamim, Chesed, Shalom. Ahava, Rachamim, Chesed, Shalom. Ahava, Rachamim, Chesed, Shalom. Ahava, v'shalom. As we let that intention, that invocation of love, compassion, loving kindness, and wholeness settle into us, I ask you, what other capacities do you want to invoke for the sake of healing? And you're welcome, if you are with me over Zoom, to write those in the chat. If you're watching over YouTube, to write those in the chat as well. And we'll roll those capacities into our intention as well. So we are here, all of us frail, all of us imperfect, all of us with our ailments, all of us sometimes broken, praying for healing. And it is also a glorious thing to be an embodied human alive. So I invite us all to just take a deep breath, and as the traditional prayer over using the bathroom reminds us, to notice what a miracle it is to have working membranes holding our veins in place, our muscles attached, to have our blood pumping, to be in this embodied existence. And we acknowledge that it is acutely more difficult for some of us than others, frail as we are. And so praying for healing is no small thing. Some of us are here with very frightening diagnoses and very frightening prognoses. And so I'm going to pray the traditional Misha Berach, prayer for healing now, which is a prayer that is never said lightly. It's not a prayer for healing a toothache. It's not a prayer for, healing some chronic headaches. It is a prayer for people who have illnesses that may well be mortal, or may well be life-changing, and need the supportive intention of the community. So as I say this prayer in Hebrew, and I'll translate it into English, if you would like to share the name of the person you're praying with, if you'd like to share it on Zoom, you're welcome to type their whole name. And if you would like to share it on YouTube, keep in mind that it will be posted. This will be posted to YouTube indefinitely and possibly forever. So make whatever modifications of just initials or whatever else as appropriate. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel, Leah Bilha v'Zilpa. Hu yivarech v'yirapeh et kol hacholim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yimale rachamim alehem, lahachlimam, ulaharpotam, lahachazikam, ulahachayotam. V'yishlach alehem refuah shlema min hashamayim, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, betoch shar cholei Yisrael, betoch shar cholei kol ha'olam. Hashta ba'agala uvizman kariv, v'nomar. Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all those we are naming, all those we are holding in our hearts who are struggling with illness, illness of body, illness of mind, illness of soul. May the source of all healing send healing soon, speedily, a healing raining down from heaven, a healing upwelling from earth, and from all other sources of healing. May those who will not be able to be healed in this realm find days free from pain, nights of peace, and the comfort of loving companions as they make their journey. And let us say, Amen. A healing service taking place on January 13th in the year 2021, necessarily almost, inevitably, has the pressure to pray for healing for the entire human situation. And indeed, I see some writing in the chat about that. So I want to say, particularly, I understand the urge to strive and yearn towards healing for our situation. And Black, Indigenous, and people of color have specifically put out the call that it is too soon to be talking about healing, that there is much work to be done before we can be thinking about unification and wholeness and healing, that on a societal level, healing cannot come without justice. To frame that in particularly health terms, as a Rabbi David Stern recently taught in a post-election call, healing is not palliative. Healing is not the same thing as anesthetic. And sometimes when we are sick and we are healing, the process of healing, the process of treating disease is the most painful part, far more painful than when the disease is underneath the surface and undetected. And sometimes cancer flares up most painfully when it is being treated in reaction to the treatment. So to the extent that we would like to pray for healing, let us be really clear that we are not praying for comfort, that we are not praying for anesthesia, that we are not praying to go back to sleep after our acutely excruciating, uncomfortable awakening that we are having about the state of our society. And I will be very explicit about the white supremacist rage that has been underpinning our society for centuries and that is on full display now. There can be no healing from that through anesthesia, through comfort, through silence. So as long as we are on the same page about what we mean when we say we want to heal the social unrest, what we want to heal our society, then I invite you to sing with me Debbie Friedman's prayer for healing, her Misha Berach, which asks us, which invites us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, acknowledging that healing is no small thing, no easy thing. And with that intention, I invite you to sing with me. And I invite you, if you would like, to name the social ills that you seek to heal, not comfortably, but with the commitment, with the persistence with which we would fight a disease as painful as it is. Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I invite you to take a few moments to sit in silence with me and allow whatever uncomfortable truths might arise, and to face them as a step towards facing and moving through whatever stands between us and our capacity for healing. And I invite you to sing the final song on our chant sheet with me. And this will close our healing service. These ancient words are the words that Prophet Moses prayed in the book of Numbers when his sister Miriam was struck with leprosy. And according to the text of the Torah, she was struck with leprosy after speaking out against him. The Midrash is not clear about what. That's a whole other conversation. Some commentators say she was criticizing him for intermarrying. And yet, whatever the reason, he was able to pray for her healing. So as we pray for the healing of ourselves, of those we love, we also invoke that capacity to pray for healing, even for those who have harmed us, to pray for a time when people are able to do the necessary teshuvah, be working to right their wrongs that will lead to the greater healing that we all need. Anna elna refanala, Anna elna refanala, Anna elna refanala, Anna elna refanala. Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds. Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds. Shekhinah, Anna elna refanala, Anna elna refanala, Anna elna refanala, Anna elna refanala. Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds. Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds. Shekhinah, Anna elna refanala, Anna elna refanala. May healing come to those who need it, and may we be receptive to all the forms of healing as they come. Thank you for being with me this evening.